Hello, everyone. So, this is going to be a quick one, but some updates from the past few minutes. Basically, two things happened with Iran and the US announcing things, and things are moving fast. If you're involved in this, you probably saw the market shift. So, a quick explanation and some thoughts about the matter. Let's dive into it. So, basically, what happened in the past, I don't know, half an hour is two things. One, U.S. announced that Marco Rubio is gonna visit Israel on sometime around February 28th, and at the same time, Iran announced that it's gonna propose a new deal to the U.S. And this had a pretty big impact on everything. So if you will see, that was enough to do this, like go from the chances of U.S. Strikes Iran before March, pretty much dropping from 37% to 23, a pretty big drop. Now, look, this is like if you ask me, and now this is completely my subjective opinion, but this is a bit funny. Like the Iranian regime, if we go 2 hours back, right? The Iranian regime closed its airspace tomorrow. It announced like a few hours during which it will shoot missiles as a drill, right? And then like an hour after, suddenly they're like, oh, we wanna deal. We're gonna propose a deal to the U.S. All right, and the U.S. are like, Marco Rubio is gonna fly to Israel, and everyone are like, so no war. Now, okay, let's like seriously put this in perspective, okay? 6 hours ago, there was a big meeting between them, right? The Iranians came with a proposal. It was completely absurd. The US was like, okay, this is it, goodbye, started moving planes. They shut down parts of the Strait of Hormuz and were like, making drills, and basically, all sides are threatening each other, moving a lot of things. And now Iran are gonna propose a deal. That, like, first of all, let's tackle the Rubio thing, because that's just ridiculous. Okay, and again, sorry to be so decisive on this, but this is ridiculous. Last time the US bombed Iran, they moved a bunch of B 22s just like for the fun of it, right? Half across the world, and they were like, we're flying to Europe, we're flying to Europe. But actually, the other half was flying to Iran and bombing them. Remember that? So, like, Rubio coming to Israel and everyone going, like, there won't be an attack before the 28th. Like, come on. Like, really, by the way, I'm not sure if there will be an attack before the 28th, but there are so like better explanations and reasons why not than this one. All right, so first, like, this is the first one to tackle. Now the bigger one, and that's Iranian deal, and then coming up with a new proposal. So look, I get that this feels like yesterday they were bluffing again, 36 hours ago, right? And now they're like, oh, a lot of planes moving. What should we do? What should we do? Okay, guys. No, the U.S. like, this time, really, we're gonna give you a deal for real. We will. All right. But whoever is like excited by this, I think misunderstands the whole dynamic of the thing. And by the way, those who are, I'm talking about are pretty much this group that dropped it from 36 to 23. And ironically, like, sometimes, I'm sorry, but like Polymarket has those like stupid things, right? In general, it's a very smart system. It's good at predicting the future, and we all know this. But at the same time, if I look at the Iran deal chances, right? 33, 34, 33, 34, 35, 33. So, like, those two things need to correlate. But they don't. And the reason they don't is because this is just pure panic. And like stocks, stop panicking. Like, if you're going to be serious about Polymarket, stop panicking. That's nice that Iran have a new proposal. Yesterday they also had one. Yesterday's proposal was, giving parts of the uranium to the Russians for a couple of years, which is like stupid, not what we want. They never agreed to talk about ballistic missiles. They never agreed to give up on their nukes. And like, it's nice that they have a new proposal, but again, whoever is taking this seriously so fast doesn't understand what's happening in Iran. They have a whole, like fundamental religious regime. They have like camps like Pezeshkian, who's like more moderate and maybe can push for a deal, but at the same time you have Khamenei, which and his like Islamic jihadists who will never agree to anything, doesn't matter what, right? All they know how to do is stall, which is kind of not gonna work this time. I think like they can stall a few days, but nothing too serious. And as for proposing a deal, that's nice. I'm gonna show you an awesome trick. Give me 1 sec. I know this will be but okay. Sorry, I know this is not something you do on YouTube. You're not supposed to have quiet moments, but give me a sec. Um, Look, guys, I have a new proposal. Okay, like can you see like no nukes and we will be nice and I will be nice. All right. Now this is cool, but also this needs to get approved by like a million people. And it couldn't have in 36 hours. And even if there is the proposal, they say like, yes, this is the proposal. And then the US will be like, okay, well, this actually looks fine. Let's talk again. They will meet third time. And then they will be like, oh, well, when we say there are no nukes, what we actually mean, and look, we have those like extremists, we need to appease them. And then basically, like, we've seen this before. This is not happening. I and like because of two statements, nothing major has changed. So, if you ask me, there is always the chance of this ending in a deal and not a war. But at the moment, nothing major happened. No big shift happened. I am still happy with my bit, and I still really like it's just stalling a few days. That's and I'm not even sure about that. So I don't know. Again, saying definitive things always can bite you in the ass. But sorry, I just don't think it is, and I'd rather say what I think it is. It's everything in the past 40 hours, 36 hours, whatever, says that we are headed to war. There is military assets moving. This is a lot more. There are much bigger signs than Iranians saying like, we have a new proposal. That's nice, dear. Like this is what the fifth time this happens. I don't know. That's as we would say that in stocks. If it was me, I would buy the dip. Like if it goes under what I originally bought it at, I'm gonna buy the dip. That's my thoughts about the whole thing. I just wanted to give a quick update. I hope everyone are doing well, and that we will keep having an interesting evening and few days. I will update if something interesting happens. Have a good one.